I have exciting news for anyone who plays hero collector games, but also uses Steam as their primary way of playing games. Steam is a great platform for many games out there, and many users, and especially many friends that I play with, prefer Steam over every platform. Now, the amazing news that I have today is DragonHeir Silent Gods is now available to download directly through Steam, and you can link your DragonHeir account to your Steam ID instead of a other third-party source like Google. So thanks to DragonHeir for sponsoring this video. Now, if you don't know what DragonHeir Silent Gods is, it is a really cool game that I have started playing, and I think you would really enjoy it. It launched about a month ago to huge success with over 10 million downloads across various regions that it launched in, and it ranked #1 in downloads in 13 regions. So what is it? It is an open world fantasy RPG with many elements you would expect to see in an RPG world, such as dice rolling, D20 rolling. If anyone has played Dungeons and Dragons, you know what I'm talking about. Character creation, and very exciting and very strategic dungeon fights and boss encounters. All of this really enhances the experience of the gameplay. It's not just about acquiring heroes. You actually have to develop your own hero. It's the second release by Nuverse. These are the minds that created Marvel Snap, and it was featured at Apple's WWDC conference, which is a pretty big deal this year. Right now, you can get this available on Epic Games Store, iOS, on Android, PC, and Mac. And as I mentioned, it will be going live either by the time this video has already gone live or very soon. It goes live exactly at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 26th of October. For me in the UK, that is at 3 a.m. on the 27th of October. So let me take you through some of the features, and I want to then talk about what is my favorite hero so far from the 1 month that I've been playing this game. You will start your adventure by creating your own hero from a combination of 3 various kinsfolk and 4 different classes. Your hero will become essential to your journey as you will work through developing your hero's personality, charisma stats, and also developing your psychic core, which is important for improving the elemental affinity of your heroes and improving the team compositions that you can develop. There are nearly 200 heroes now in the game. We have got ranging from legendary to epic to rare. These are all available for you to acquire using the dice summoning system. You do get a fair amount of epic and legendary summons, although getting legendaries are quite difficult if you don't spend a bit of money. However, you can get some very powerful epic and rare heroes. The hero that I want to show off today is a rare hero, and I use her nearly everywhere. She is so good. On top of this, we have some open world dynamics, open world features where you have to run around, collect features, and you can use that in crafting. There is tower defense minigames. There are various other lock mechanism minigames that you have to play, as well as a very deep RPG story that you can really get engaged with. So this game has pretty much everything that you would expect to see from an RPG. And if you like these types of hero collector games and you want a game that you can play on the side that doesn't commit loads of your time, I think personally it's a really fun game so far from what I've played. So let's get into the main content of this video. Which hero am I talking about? It is Sigrid. Now, if you've seen any other content creator cover the game, you'll have heard the name Sigrid come up. But why exactly is Sigrid so good? Her abilities make her very good for a general all-round hero that doesn't require you to build a specific type of team. So every hero that you collect will have a role. This role can be wild, dauntless, rally, support, defense, and I think I've missed one more, maybe poison. I always miss one of them. In Sigrid's case, she's actually a support, which you might think means, oh, well, why is she so powerful? Because all she's going to do is either bring some boost to your team or weaken enemies' power. She's actually a damage dealer. That's how good she actually is. She's my main damage dealer in my account. But because she's configured as a support, she doesn't require other types to make it happen. So what do I mean by other types specifically? A great example here is the free legendary we get in terms of Eric. Eric is a wild type hero. Now, wild type heroes will have a chance to cast wild checks whenever they're performing their spells, which is a 30% chance that wild is successful. And if they are successful at casting wild, it will boost the effect of that skill for whatever reason. So for example here, this ability here will summon a flame pillar under enemies dealing fire damage. If the wild check is successful, it'll increase the damage to 120%. In this instance, we'll summon 5 meteorites. If the wild check is successful, it will do 120%. So in terms of Eric's passive here, he has an increasing chance of successfully casting wild, depending on how many wild checks are happening in the team. So really the way to make Eric really powerful is you need to pair him with multiple wild champions. And this is a theme you find throughout DragonHeir. If a hero is really built around wild or rally, then you often need more than one of them to really get them value out of them. That is not the case with Sigrid. In Sigrid's case, she simply just requires a good team setup. Let's go through her abilities to see exactly why I'm recommending Sigrid as like my favorite champion so far in DragonHeir. She has a passive here which is insane for a rare champion. Whenever an enemy inflicted with debuff dies, she gains 25% of her ultimate energy. Now, ultimate energy is the sort of the cooldown required for her to cast her ultimate ability. Every hero has ultimate ability. Now, normally that would require 19.23 seconds because I have a little bit of skill haste in order for her to recharge her ultimate. And the first cast is at about 12 seconds, 11.54 seconds. So essentially that is about 100%. This basically means whenever an enemy dies with a debuff, she's getting a quarter of her ultimate bar for free. It's really powerful because this ability is very strong. Now let's have a look at her battle skill. Battle skills happen more frequently. Initial recharge time is at a 4.73 seconds. The complete recharge for me is at 9.5. You can see the skill haste is adding a little bit. You can click on any of these stats over here and it will tell you what is happening. So for example, that 20 skill haste is giving me about 4% reduction. So we can see it shoots 2 arrows at the enemy, each dealing poison damage with a 75% chance of inflicting healing prohibition. Now, healing prohibition is exceptionally important for any arena gameplay that you are playing. Most people will set up with a Horus tank, and if you can't defeat the Horus and you can't stop the healing, it can be a problem. So the fact you get healing prohibition on a battle skill is very powerful. It will stop anyone healing. Now we can also see, and this is a very, very important thing, if you click on the details button, this will give you the multiplier of the attack. And it's very important in terms of rating heroes. So if we have a look at this, we can see it's a 210% attack. So the damage modifier here is attack for this hero. If we had a look at someone like a Grover's battle skill, you can see it's only 135% per attack. So it's a little bit higher, but not by too much. So this is how you can kind of quickly evaluate, okay, you know, how much attack am I going to get? Now, obviously, base attack is important. You can see that Grover at 90 is getting 912. At 100, it's 1345. So base attack with normal attack. If you ever played any other games that do this, that's how you really kind of work out whether it's a high damage ability. But the battle skill is not what we really like about her damage. What we really like is this venomous blast. Deals 820% poison damage to an enemy and all enemies inflicted with debuffs with a 75% chance of reapplying healing prohibition, but more importantly, attack penalty 2 for 10 seconds. It's very rare for you to get an attack penalty 2 for that length of time on a rare champion. You can see my main tank that I'm using here, Frubath, he has it on epics, and that requires books to really get down. You'll find you'll get more rare books than you'll get epic books. She only needs 4 of them here, which is really helpful. If we see if we can find any other one here, there's an accuracy penalty 1 on this hero. I'm pretty sure Arena has attack penalty 2 for 10 seconds. She also has it, so that's not too bad, but you can see the multiplier difference. That's 710%. This one's 820%. It's a big difference. It's 100% more attack value. So that has to be taken into account. There are other heroes as well that can do this. Let's see if we can find another one with an attack penalty. Maybe there isn't another one that I can think of off the top of my team here. You can see I've been experimenting with a couple of different rares. It's quite cheap to go up to level 50 and level 70, but I haven't been going any higher. So what you end up getting with Sigrid is a decreased attack with heal prohibition, but lots of damage. Now, let me show you how I've built her. This is actually quite a hard and heavy build to do. What you'll find is it's almost impossible for you to get to 100% crit rate unless you're farming legendary gear. And I haven't progressed enough yet to be at legendary gear farming. I'm just starting to. I've chosen to go with the Eyeball of the Giant as her primary artifact. These artifacts you will acquire by summoning duplicate heroes, right? You can see I've already got all of the rare ones because I've pulled enough duplicate rares that I've earned enough of this material. The epic ones, I'm only now starting to get some of them as I'm pulling more duplicate epics. At rank 20 here, it's increasing the ultimate skills damage by 20%. Sigrid is basically about her ultimate ability. I really want to be able to recycle and get as much damage here. We also get 45% crit rate. An alternative would be to basically do this arcane music box, get that up to 20, and then permanently place a shield on Sigrid. That would give me the crit rate, and that might be a better option. But at the moment, we've gone for this. A 45% attack boost is actually quite nice as well to help with the multiplier. That's the artifact that I have gone with to try and boost her main ability. Then we've put her into a Goblin helmet set, which is basically skill, haste, and attack percentage. And we have also got a Goblin Brawler here. So we've got one complete set. And then we've gone for a Barbarian, which is attack 15% and crit rate 10%. This is still only epic gear. As you can see, I'm starting to farm some legendary gear now. This would make a significant difference in terms of damage output, but I need to farm more of it. And I've just not had the time to actually do that as of now. So we've got her at around about 79% crit rate, 114 crit damage, 20 skill haste, and 1.87 attack interval. Now, she does need accuracy. You do need accuracy in this game to land those debuffs. So we have put accuracy on her negative rune. That's a 64 here at the moment. Again, needs to be legendary ideally, but this will be okay for now. We have got a roll in enlightenment, which is not ideal. We would prefer an attack percentage if that is possible on the substats here. In terms of her rune, we haven't actually got a crit damage rune yet, but that would be the epic crit damage rune is what we would need to go and farm to improve this. Crit rate, attack speed, skill haste, these are the stats you would look for in those. So as you can see, the summon view here, we got 3,693 attack to scale on that 820% multiplier. So where is she really good at then? Let's just take her through some of the stages that I use her. So the first thing you'll ever want to build in this game is a very good Goblin Lair farm. I'm at Goblin Lair 2 at the moment predominantly. I should be on Goblin Lair 3 really. I've just been taking it a little bit easy. So we can put her into Goblin 2 here, stage 5. And really all you need to do to set her up is you need to bring someone with AoE debuffs. In this instance, we're bringing Arena because she can set up a grid of debuffs and then that will work. Because the one thing I didn't really mention about Sigrid, all of her abilities are single target, including her ultimates. You might be thinking, oh, single target's not so good. She will attack all enemies inflicted with a debuff if she uses this ultimate. So normally, if we didn't use a debuff, she would just do one thing. So let's just run this on stage 5 now so we can have a little experiment here. I'm going to take it off auto so I can kind of show you how the value of that debuff AoE spread actually works, right? So we're going to run this now, and we're just going to put one debuff on one enemy. So we can see, let's just try and put, there we go here. So if we were to only use this right now, it would only kill one person. This is not ideal because in Goblins, you can see what you basically need is AoE damage dealing. So Arena can come in here now and basically drop a load of debuffs out here. And what Sigrid will do when she sees this is she picks one target and everything gets one shot. And this is the value. And you can see she's got it back almost instantly. Everything again, one shot. She's got it back straight away. So if you can set up a team in this area, in Goblins, where you can basically just permanently keep debuffing, and then you can constantly keep recycling Sigrid's ultimate here, you can just go debuff, one shot, debuff, one shot, debuff, one shot, and you will be able to clear this in rapid time, which is what you want to do. That is all. This is what Goblins is about. You need to kill it very quickly. We're not going to do it fast this time because I have been manualing to show off the skill usages and why it's really important that you set this up. But realistically here, I don't actually need 2 tanks. I just don't have a higher damage built hero other than my Isolde, who's 91 at the moment. Once I get another sort of damage dealer, I've just pulled Hockadeer, for example, I will probably drop Isolde for Hockadeer so that we can actually, clear this much more efficiently and probably move on to Goblins 3. Usha here just needs another Frost champion. But that is how you can kind of use Sigrid, and you'll see that she will massively outdamage anyone in this team. Yes, she is higher level, but even against the sort of she's like significantly the strongest hero here. So for Goblin's Lair, she is really, really good. I use her though in every single boss fight because we use a very cool trick that I didn't know about when I first started playing this game, but it's actually really important for you to understand how to gain success, how to push really through those harder difficulties. And that is to use her A3 to essentially, her ultimate skill, to stagger the debuffs. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to this boss. This is one of the primary gear dungeon bosses. We're at stage 7 here. So you can see I need 150 resistance, 170 accuracy to actually beat this boss. Now what we're using is this little sort of timepiece lightning that you're seeing here. This is saying that we're going to use a pre-configured team with pre-configured skill resets. You can see I've got my Venom team here. We've got it configured here. And what I've actually done is I've said I want to delay her ultimate cast by 12 seconds and delay his ultimate cast by 19 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it up in the sense that Sigrid will apply the first decrease attack for 10 seconds, and then Frubart with his ultimate ability is going to apply the second one, which should hopefully mean that no matter what happens in the fight, the decrease attack is always up, so long as we don't have any sort of accuracy issues. Now, we did need 170 accuracy. We've only got 127. So we probably want to consider using the accuracy aura to make sure we don't lose it. That's pretty much the only way Frubart is going to die, is if we fight it without decreased accuracy. This is legendary tier farming. So this is actually quite a hard stage to sort of progress to. So you can see right now we're going to put the decreased attack up the first one. Right about now, there we go. So we land that. So now everything should be comfortable. Now Frubart's going to keep himself alive pretty much with his own healing. And the whole point of this team is now we just need to basically try and stay alive a little bit more. He's just refreshed the decrease attack. So we're going to go and put the cycle again. So we're going to get a decrease defense on here, hopefully. And then we're going to put decrease attack back on. So we're basically staying alive here by staggering those two. Without that skill reset, we would have 20 seconds basically of attacks, and only 10 seconds of them would have the decreased attack, and that is where your tank will die. By having that staggered skill effect, we guarantee that the tank will never die, and as long as the tank never dies in this team, this is how you beat the Harpy. So you can see Sigrid again is performing the highest damage roll. You can click this little arrow, it will show you who's doing damage. Sigrid at 59%. She is rocking the damage numbers. She's the best rare that I think in the game so far that I've played with. There are plenty rares out there. We did take a bit of a hammer in there, so hopefully our 2 healers will come in here and keep us alive. But, you know, this is stage 7. I would probably hope that this becomes more comfortable as I'm able to farm better legendary gear. Right now, a lot of these heroes are running on sort of epic gear, and you can see some of them are only 90. They're not even level 100 yet, so that would obviously be a requirement here. But she is absolutely smashing the damage at 64%. Now, keep in mind, she's not 100% crit rate. So all of these basic attacks and even possibly some ultimate attacks that she's doing are not critting, which means that we're extending the length of the fight. So it would really be helpful when we get that legendary gear that we can hopefully get her at 100% crit rate, because it is an absolute important thing for your damage dealer to be doing damage. That is the key thing here. So we'll let this run through to the end. And she pretty much, you can see how she will be based in all of my teams. I'll do a quick arena fight with her so you can see exactly how the arena fight works as well. So far, she is basically my main damage source, but I do need to be investing in more damage sources because of the pillar system in Pillar of Trial, where I can't use her unless I'm fighting in the poison trial. So we do get some gear here. We got a new epic piece, which is undesirable, and we need the gold. Gold becomes a big issue as you progress in the game. What have we got here? HP percentage. That is not what we want from an assassin glove, which is all about damage. And then we have a defense percentage. So that gear is sold, but that's not really why we did that stage. We do it for this 4 core here, so we can actually craft legendary gear in the forge. Now, we're in the arena. The arena basically changes the landscape completely because every hero is set to the highest level of the hero in your account. So because Sigrid is 100, every of my hero in competitive mode is 100. You also have to completely gear your heroes individually again for competitive. The equipment is essentially different between both. You can synchronize them if you want to, but it's actually quite good to be able to maintain different gearing requirements and have different heroes built for different purposes. The only thing to note is that books are the only thing that are not synchronized. So if you haven't booked your hero, you won't get the booking abilities. Now in this build here, you can see I've kind of got a very similar build, a little bit less attack. It's probably not as good as my sort of PvE build, mainly because you can see I've got some different glyphs and different things happening here. Probably I haven't rebuilt this hero since I've got some better gear. We could probably push this attack higher. So that is kind of like what you always have to keep in mind, is you might build it for a specific thing and then come back and come forth. Like I'm using actually the Goblet of Dragon Blood to basically acquire a little bit extra crit rate, because sometimes frequency of attacking is a bit more important than one-shotting something. So the team that I typically use for a PvP encounter is this. It's basically still using Frubath, and we're still using Arena as a secondary damage source. We just bring in the Adolphus in here because it just gives us a little bit more shielding capabilities. It helps keep us alive a little bit better. I found his shielding to be really effective, and we're using Hexandra as our main heal so that we get the right element bonus, because you do want to keep 3 hero elements initially in your first sort of 30 days that you're playing, because you'll be getting bonuses for the heroes on this 3 hero element affinity type, and they are quite substantial. So you can see how the fight's going to go. I don't really have a better aura than accuracy, so that's fine. We've got to beat the tank. PvP is about beating the tank. The front line here, Rowena. Luckily, the Rowena is not built for much, so this is going to be pretty much over in no second. I can't manual any of PvP. It's all full auto. But Arena, there we go. That's the end of that. See, Sigrid just comes in one shot. That wasn't really a challenge. I fought a lot more competitive teams than that. Normally, your first goal is to beat the front line. I thought that this tank here would be more built competitively, but apparently not. Let's try and face off this team here. He is also using a Frubath, so it's going to be a bit of a healing wall right at the start. If we can't kill this Frubath quickly, he's going to heal a lot. So there's that healing prohibition. He can't actually heal now, which makes this much easier. We're taking a bit of a beating here. There's the bit of healing coming out. His damage has gone out now, but we've survived, if we notice here. We've got a bit of a fear going on, which isn't great. Hopefully our shields are going to come out here. This is the power of Adolphus. It's just going to give us a shield. And there goes Sigrid. This is why I really like Sigrid. She gets a turn. She will one-shot in Arena. She's such a powerful rare. Obviously, if you have legendary champions, you might not need her. But if you don't have legendary champions, I would suggest she is a great starting point for you to build any team around, because she doesn't require a lot of setup. Just bring enough debuffs, build her in a good damage build, and she will prove successful. So if you haven't started using Sigrid, give it a go. Let me know in the comments below if you are using Sigrid already and you think she's as good as I do, or if you're going to go give it a try now. If you haven't started playing yet, remember, it has now going live on Steam. It's launching on Steam as of the 26th of October at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is for the UK. Anyone who watches from the UK, about 3 in the morning on the 27th of October. It's a fairly good chance that it might already be out by the time me saying it. So if you want to go and play this game, you can get the link in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment as well. So they have mentioned to me there is a new exclusive promotion code for this as well. So let's see if it's going to work for us. It may not, because we may already have started the game. But if you have downloaded using the link, you can come into the service and you can redeem DragonHeir. Let's see if this works. DragonHeir. Oh, I've already used it. That's a shame. Maybe it will still work for you, but you can use it to redeem some limited edition gift packs as well when you first get started with the game. So you can find the link to download the game now in my description or the pinned comment. You can play it on all devices and now including Steam. I'm having a lot of fun with DragonHeir, and hopefully you can join me in having fun in the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.